Sorry, I'm not Charlie Sheen, but I have a habit of when I sit and do something, I light a cigarette. So, I'm smoking again. I have one of these new type of people, not a psychiatrist. This one isn't. I don't know if I'm ever going to see one in this building. She's going to label me bipolar. Until she gets Dr. Long's records from Forsyth County, who was a very good doctor. She knows everything. She does. Seriously. She says, well, we over-labeled bipolar, going through my symptoms. I said, look, complex post-traumatic stress disorder encompasses all other. Well, is there mental illness in your family? No. Well, I think your mother sounds like she was very bipolar. I said, no, she was very selfish. Whatever. So, let her get Dr. Long's. I have the medication still written from my regular doctor in between going from one place to the other. Who was kind enough to do it, letting me know that that's not to be done, which I do know. They've changed you used to be able to go to a medical doctor and get certain scripts, and you can in certain states, but not in this one. And I'm just so lucky. But I was in and out, just like that. And then I went to the store, got some stuff so I could be a hermit for a little bit longer. So, the notes to be taken are, the people that you go to see are not gods. We have certain labels. Now, if you weren't in any kind of abuse, bipolar. You can have abuse and have a bipolar, but usually mental illness runs in families. Mine was biologically, externally created. My environment. Thank you. And my mother said, Donna, it just doesn't sound like I did anything right when you were growing up. Well, that's a good conversation to have. The next time we do speak, I'm going to ask her, what did you do for us? Besides spend money, $25 a week, when you were making so much more, able to afford your own place. You didn't have a live-in babysitter. You put your kids out for 5 years in somebody else's house and barely ever went and saw them. So what did you do right, Mother? Oh, and always said, well, I could have put you up for adoption. My answer was always, you should. And then having her husband, her sicko, Bob Payton's second husband, bring us to an orphanage that the children there were medically severely problematic medically. I mean, they'd had severe problems, and all the kids, in the area knew that. They'd see them out and play and knew they weren't like us, able to run wherever we wanted to, but to be monitored and a little slower and whatnot. And some looked. I mean, I volunteered there in high school, and there was a little girl that they were calling the monkey, which I thought was horrendous a title, because her brain fused at birth, and her head was the size of an infant. It was not going to grow, and they don't have a long duration of lifetime span because the brain has to grow, and it kind of like suffocates itself as it's trying to grow inside this tiny thing. And besides that, it was not a good developed brain. But and there was a hermaphrodite, and she liked me. preferred she, liked me very much. I'm very glad that somebody didn't decide at her birth to be male or female, which they normally do. But yeah, when I was a little girl, after getting out of that environment, my mother let her husband, which my brother and I were very good because we knew what bad was. We already had bad. And my mother said, it's so amazing. You and your brother were always being told by my friends that you were the best behaved children. Thanks. Wonder why. And so her and her husband, once I finally did get to go back and live with her when I was 7, brought us to that orphanage and said, if you kids aren't good, you're going to go in here. She allowed this to go on. So we were thinking we were going to be put into a home that was not for, I don't want to say normal children, but they were not normal in birth and medical and brain-wise at birth. That there was defects and genetic defects. So, and my mother was laughing in the front seat. She thought it was funny. And even the husband now, when I was taking care of my brother in Glen Cove before we put him in the hospital, she came upstairs in the attic to me and asked me if I had sex with her now husband. I went like this to go choke her. I called her the C word. I said, I hate him. How dare you? You're disgusting. She disgusts me. Ugh. Then when I was 17, she asked me to put a hickey on her neck to make her boyfriend jealous. I said, are you crazy? Treetop Billy. My mother asked me to put a hickey on her neck. And she's sane? I'm the crazy one. Anyway. Yeah. Dysfunctional? Not me. But I had to deal with it. So, ciao. And I'm back, and I don't have to go back for another month. Hooray! Just write my scripts, doctor. Not even a doctor! Okay. Check you out later.